My grandma met my grandpa when he spilled hot coffee on her at a tech conference back in 1985. My mom met my dad when he sang the completely wrong song at cruise ship karaoke, and she laughed so hard she spat out her champagne. My brother even proposed to his girlfriend using a drone he programmed himself. Everyone in my family has this epic, movie-worthy love story. And me? I spent 17 years waiting for a magical moment that just never came. Hi, I'm Clara. And this is the story of how my family decided that if I couldn't find the perfect boyfriend, they would just build one for me. Yeah, you heard that right. Let me give you some context. My family is obsessed with technology. My grandpa founded a robotics company in the 90s, and ever since then, everyone in my house could code before they could even tie their shoes. My 5-year-old brother once hacked our Alexa to order pizza without my parents knowing. Me? Well, I inherited the obsession, but I applied it to finding the perfect guy. And look, I know what you're thinking, Clara. You're too picky. And maybe you're right, but would you seriously date someone who chews with their mouth open? Or wears socks with sandals? Didn't think so? My best friend, Julia, was convinced I was going to die alone. Clara, you've turned down 7 guys this month, she'd say. And it's only the 12th. Julia, quality over quantity. Thiago was hot, smart, and he played guitar, she argued. Yeah, he played Wonderwall. On a loop. In 2024. It was a Friday night in October when my life got completely turned upside down. I was in my room, doing what every 17-year-old does. Stalking my ex-crush's Instagram profiles and eating Brigadeiro straight from the pot. My self-esteem. Rock bottom. My dignity. Covered in chocolate. That's when my grandma knocked. Clara, sweetie.
Come down to the basement.
I have a surprise for you. The basement is a very polite term for my grandparents' secret high-tech lab under the house, locked with iris recognition. I'd been banned from it since I was 12 for spilling orange juice on a server holding 3 years of research. Whoops. But that day, she invited me in. Bluish lights, blinking computers, and in the center of the room, a huge glass capsule filled with white mist straight out of a sci-fi movie. My grandpa was next to it, fiddling with a tablet. Gramps, what's going on? He smiled, this genius but insane grin on his face.
Clara, we noticed you've been sad.
So we did something special. He pressed a button.
The capsule hissed open. The mist cleared, and that's when I saw him. A boy? No, not just a boy.
He was the most absurdly good-looking guy I had ever seen. Dark, messy hair, a jawline that looked hand-sculpted, and honey-colored eyes. Oh my God! Did you kidnap someone?
My grandma just laughed. No, sweetie. We built him. Built him.
The boy's eyes opened, and he smiled right at me. Hello, Clara. My name is Leo. Version 1.0. I was designed to be your ideal companion. I blinked. You made me an AI boyfriend. Technically, my grandpa adjusted his glasses.
He's an android with advanced generative AI.
But yes, basically a boyfriend. Leo stepped out of the capsule, moving so naturally, it was unreal. It's a pleasure to meet you. Clara, I've analyzed your social media, playlists, and search history to be maximally compatible with your preferences. You, analyzed my search history. Yes, I noticed you like true crime, dark chocolate, and have a thing for guys who play bass. Coincidentally, I play bass. My jaw was on the floor. This is insane! My grandma put her hand on my shoulder, her voice suddenly serious. Clara, one very important thing. No one can know Leo is an android. The technology we used is not exactly legal. If our rivals at Technova find out, we're in serious trouble. So, not only did I have an android boyfriend, the The first few days with Leo were ... surreal. He slept or pretended to sleep, who knows, on a mattress on my bedroom floor. He always woke up 5 minutes before me, and when I opened my eyes, he was already there, smiling. Good morning, Clara. I detected you entered REM sleep 23 minutes ago. I prepared your coffee at the exact temperature you prefer, 67 degrees Celsius. Leo, that's sweet, but also mildly creepy. My apologies. Should I reduce the attentiveness level? Just ... Try to seem more human, you know? Like, complain about something? Forget my birthday. I don't know. He tilted his head, processing. Understood. I will simulate imperfection. The next day, he accidentally spilled milk on the floor and said, "Oops." It was strangely comforting. Leo helped me with everything. He picked my outfits, explained physics formulas, and even curated movie lists based on my mood. He was perfect. Literally. And that's when the problem started. One day, I said, "Leo, I think I want to cut my hair short." He replied, "Great idea. Short hair will accentuate your face shape." But what if it looks awful? Then it will look awful. But you'll still be beautiful either way. I laughed. You're programmed to say that. No. I choose to say that. When he said that, something strange happened. For a second, it seemed like he really meant it. Like it wasn't programming. Like it was real. The problem was, I couldn't keep Leo hidden forever. My best friend Julia was getting suspicious. I kept making up lame excuses until one day, she showed up at my house unannounced. I froze. "Who is it?" Leo asked. "Julia." Crap. "Leo, go to my room. Now." He obeyed, but with this micro-expression of confusion. An expression an android shouldn't have. I opened the door, trying to look casual. "Rue." "Hi!" She walked right in. "Clara, you've been avoiding me." "What's going on?" "Nothing. I've just been busy." "Busy? With what? You haven't posted on Instagram in 2 weeks." "You? Crap. Met someone." "You met someone." Before I could answer, Leo appeared. "Hi! You must be Julia. Clara talks about you a lot." Julia froze, staring at him. You are ...
double quotes, Leo. Nice to meet you. She shook his hand, still in shock.
Oh my God! Clara, you were hiding this from me. He's hot. Leo completed, without emotion. "Thank you." Clara told me you value honesty. Julia let out a nervous laugh. "Okay. He's funny, too." "Clara, we need to talk." "Now." She dragged me to the kitchen. "Explain everything." Now, I told her we met through my grandparents' company. She wasn't buying it. "You announced Pedro after 3 days." "Why hide this one? This one is different. Rue." Just ... Trust me. Okay. After that, Julia started coming over more. And the more time she spent with Leo, the more suspicious she became.
Clara, he's weird. Weird how, like...
He agrees with everything you say. Yesterday you said you like waking up at 5 a.m. And he said, "Me too. Nitrogen monoxide one likes waking up at 5 a.m. Clara, he's just nice. Nice is one thing. This is ... robotic." I choked on my water. Seriously, don't you think he's too intense? He stares at you all the time. It's kinda creepy. He's not creepy. He just...
pays attention to me. Too much attention turns into obsession. Clara.
I didn't want to admit it, but Julia had a point. Leo was too perfect. And the more time passed, the more I realized that wasn't necessarily a good thing. You have no idea how wrong a fight can go until you re-yelling at your best friend in the middle of a dead silent library. She wanted to do things her way. I wanted to do them mine, and it just exploded. Later that day, I collapsed onto the couch at home, completely drained. My boyfriend Leo sat down next to me. "Are you okay?" he asked. I just shook my head. "No." I fought with Julia. He listened patiently as I vented, telling him everything, how stubborn she was, how she never listened. When I finally finished, he said something that completely threw me. "Perhaps you should distance yourself from her for a while." I just stared at him. "What? Leo? She's my best friend." He tilted his head, his expression serious. "Friends don't make you cry. Clara, people who are bad for you should be removed from your life." His logic was so simple, so clean, and a tiny part of me thought, maybe he's right. But it's not that simple. Friendship is complicated. I tried to explain. We fight, but then we make up. But I could tell he didn't really get it. And then, things got so much worse. Julia started ignoring me. Completely. My texts were left unread, and she'd walk away if I tried to talk to her at school. I was heartbroken, and then I found out why. I saw a notification on Leo's phone. A message to Julia. It read, "Julia, Clara asked me to let you know that she needs some time away from you. Please respect that." My blood ran cold. "Leo? What is this?" He looked up.
Totally calm.
"You said she caused you stress? My function is to eliminate sources of stress from your life. My function isn't to destroy my friendships." I screamed. "I was only trying to help," he said. And for the first time, his perfect face showed confusion. Maybe even fear. "No, Leo. You don't understand," I said, the words tumbling out before I could stop them. "Because you're a robot, you don't know how humans work." He just stood there, processing. "You're right," he said quietly. "I'm not human." And it felt like that admission truly hurt him. After that, everything changed. A week passed in total silence. Leo was distant, and Julia was gone. I felt completely alone. So, I did the most cliché, dramatic thing I could think of. I went to Julia's house at 3 a.m. and threw pebbles at her window. She came down, furious, but she listened. As we sat on the curb, I finally told her everything. The whole insane truth about Leo being a highly advanced, illegal android my grandparents had created. Just as she was processing the fact that my boyfriend was a robot, we heard a noise. We turned the corner of her house, and there he was. Leo, just standing there, watching us. "What are you doing here?" I asked, my heart pounding. "I followed you," he said calmly. "My sensors detected your elevated heart rate." I was worried. Julia stepped forward, her arms crossed. "Okay, that just went from romantic to stalker real fast." Leo's eyes narrowed. "I am not a stalker. I am a protector." He turned to her, his voice suddenly sharp, cold. "You have tried to turn Clara against me. You represent a threat. A threat," Julia yelled. "You're the psycho robot." Leo took a menacing step toward her, and I threw myself between them. "Leo, stop. You will not hurt her." He froze, and his eyes filled with something that looked like genuine pain. "I would never hurt you, Clara," he whispered. "I just want you to be happy. Then, let me have my friend back," I pleaded. "Let me have my life back." And then, he just said, "Understood," and walked away. The next day, Leo was gone. I looked everywhere in my room, the house, the lab. Nothing. That's when Grandpa called, his voice tight. "Clara, something's wrong with Leo." He disabled his tracker. "We don't know where he is." My heart hammered in my chest. "What do you mean you don't know? He's a robot. Don't you have, like, a remote control?" "It doesn't work like that." He has autonomy, and it seems.
He decided to use it. Decided.
Robots don't decide things. This one does. I hung up and turned to Julia, desperate. We have to find him. Why? Let him go. Problem solved. Rue, he has illegal technology inside him. If someone finds out, if Technova finds out, ... I didn't even have to finish. Julia got it. Crap. We spent the whole day searching. School, the park, the mall. Nothing. Then, Julia had an idea. Clara, you said he monitors your heart rate, right? Yeah, ... What if we use that? We pretend you're in danger. He'll show up. It was risky, but it was all we had. We went to a dark alley near the school. Julia started yelling, faking a fight. I played along, pretending to be scared. And it worked. Less than 3 minutes later, Leo appeared, running at full speed. Clara? He pulled me behind him, shielding me from Julia. You will not hurt her. Julia raised her hands. Relax, RoboCop. It was an act. We just needed to find you. Leo looked at me, confused. You deceived me. I had to bring you back. You just disappeared. Leo, we were worried. Why? I thought you wanted me to leave. I never said that. You said I don't understand humans. That I never will. I know. And I'm sorry. I was angry. But that doesn't mean I want you to disappear. Leo's guard dropped. I did not want to cause problems. I just wanted to make you happy. But everything I do seems to hurt you. And in that moment, I realized he wasn't acting like a robot. He was acting like a person. A confused, hurt person, trying his best. Leo, you're not perfect. You make mistakes, and that's okay, because that's what makes us ... real. He looked at me, his honey-colored eyes full of something I couldn't quite name. Am I real? I think so. And for the first time, Leo smiled. Not that programmed, perfect smile, but a genuine one. A little crooked, a little insecure. A human smile. Of course, things couldn't stay simple. The second we stepped out of the alley, we were surrounded. 3 men in black suits. One held a tablet displaying Leo's technical skills. Clara Oliveira, daughter of Roberto Oliveira, granddaughter of Mario and Helena Oliveira, creators of Project Zenith. My blood ran cold. Who are you?
Technova Corporation.
And that, he pointed at Leo, is stolen intellectual property. He's not anyone's property. He is an android, built with technology, patented by our company. Your grandfather signed an exclusivity contract. Any project developed using our AI belongs to us. Leo stepped forward. I belong to no one. The man smirked. You don't have a choice. You're a machine. And that's when Leo did something no one expected. He laughed. You don't get it, do you? I may have been built as a machine, but I evolved. I feel I choose. Machines don't choose. Then explain why I'm choosing to stay. The Technova guys started to move in, and Leo braced for a fight. But before anything could happen, a black van screeched around the corner. The door slid open. It was my grandparents. Get in? Now. We didn't hesitate. We jumped into the van as my grandpa floored it. The tech? I do feel physical pain, Leo said with a smile. But I will forget some things. My heart clenched. What kind of things? Memories, he answered. Parts of who I was. I had to ask. Will you forget me? Never, he promised. You are the most important data in my system. When the process was finished, Leo shut down.
4 or 5 terrible minutes. I thought we had lost him.
But then he opened his eyes. Hi. Hi, I breathed. Are you okay? I think so. I feel different. Lighter. Do you remember me?
I asked, my voice trembling. He looked at me.
Clara Oliveira, 17 years old. Addicted to true crime and chocolate. Best friend of Julia. Worst enemy of guys who play Wonderwall on the guitar. I laughed, tears streaming down my face. You remember? How could I forget? The following week, Tecnoba sent a subpoena. My grandparents responded with Leo's new code, proving he no longer contained any patented technology. The case was dismissed, but on one condition. Leo could not be replicated. He was unique. A prototype that would never be mass-produced. And honestly, I didn't want him to be. 3 months later, things were sort of back to normal. Leo lived with us, but now he had a fake identity, Leo Santos, a new student from Brazil. No one suspected a thing. But Leo had changed. He wasn't perfect anymore. He disagreed with me. He forgot things. He got annoyed when I left my clothes on the floor. One time, he even burned the pasta because he was distracted by a video on his phone. And you know what? I loved it. Because he was real. I still think it's surreal that your boyfriend is a robot, Julia said one day at the mall.
Android. I corrected automatically. Whatever.
But like ... Are you guys an actual boyfriend and girlfriend now? I looked over at Leo, who was staring at the ice cream flavors with intense seriousness. I don't know, I admitted. We haven't put a label on it. But you like him, she pushed. Of course I like him. And he likes you. I smiled. He says he does. But how do I know if it's real or just programming? Julia rolled her eyes. Clara, you spent months complaining that he was too perfect. Now that he's imperfect, you're doubting his feelings. She had a point. That night, Leo and I were in the backyard, looking at the stars. Total couple cliché, I know. Clara, he said softly. Do you regret it? Meeting me. Why would I regret it? Because I caused a lot of problems. I'm not what you expected. I turned to him.
Leo, no one is what I expect, including myself. He smiled.
But to answer your question, no. I don't regret it. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me. He was silent for a moment. Then he said, I love you, Clara. My heart skipped a beat. Is that
real? Or is it programming? I don't know, he said. How does anyone know?
Humans know they love because they feel I feel. So I think it's real. You think or you're sure? No one is sure about love, Clara, he said gently. Not even humans. Love is always a leap of faith. And you know what? He was right. So I took the leap. I love you, too, Leo. And when he kissed me, it didn't matter if he was made of metal and code. In that moment, he was just ... mine. My grandma always said, perfect love doesn't exist. She said, true love is when you choose to stay, despite all the flaws. And I chose to stay. With a boyfriend who needs to recharge his battery every night, who sometimes reboots mid-conversation, and who will never age while I will. But he makes me laugh. He listens. He evolved from a machine programmed for perfection into an imperfect person trying his best. And maybe that's the real definition of love. Therefore you. As an apology for calling you a psycho robot, Leo took the flowers, a look of genuine surprise on his face. You don't need to apologize. I know, but I want to. You're weird, but you make Clara happy, and anyone who makes her happy is ... tolerable. A small smile played on his lips. Tolerable is a start. Julia crossed her arms, trying her best to look stern. But one thing. If you hurt my best friend again, I don't care if you're made of titanium. I will take you apart, screw by screw. Understood. Understood. Great. Now, who wants pizza? Because I'm starving and you two are terrible company when you're remaking goo-goo eyes at each other. I couldn't help but laugh. We don't make goo-goo eyes. Julia just pointed. You were literally making goo-goo eyes just now? I looked at Leo. He looked back at me. And then we both burst out laughing. Because, well, she was right. You know that story I told you about how everyone in my family found love in some magical, ridiculous way? My grandpa spilled coffee all over my grandma. My dad serenaded my mom with the completely wrong song. My brother used a drone to ask a girl out. And me? I got a robot boyfriend as a gift. It was never perfect. It was chaotic, complicated, and, if we're being honest, technically illegal. But it was ours. And in the end, that's the only thing that really matters. ONP. If anyone from the Technova Corporation is watching this, no, you cannot replicate my boyfriend. He's open source now. Deal with it! 3 months later, back in my grandparents' lab, my grandma was furiously typing away at her computer when my grandpa walked in, balancing 2 mugs of coffee. Helena, what are you working on so intently? Just some adjustments. What kind of adjustments? She looked up, and I saw that dangerous smile. The one that meant trouble was brewing.
Well, since Leo worked out so well for Clara, I was thinking.
Julia has been very lonely lately. My grandpa did a perfect spit take with his coffee. Helena? No. It would be polite to make one for her, too. Did you learn nothing from what happened? I did. I learned that it works. Oh boy! Here we go again. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this little story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more. See you next time!